I'm bringing it back, baby, yeah! So, I kind of put this out there to bring back this, the toy series that I started. Oh, God, what the hell was the name of it? Oh, wow, really? Oh. Has it really been that long? I don't remember what it was called. I just recently mentioned it in a video. From the Toy Bin, that's what it's called. God damn it. Oh, we're off to a great start already. So, I put it out there that I want to start doing that again, just sort of as a every now and then video, you know, when stuff's not really going on, maybe put out a little bit of filler content. But a lot of people said they wanted to see me do more videos like that, and here we are. So before I get into these fine antiquities that I have in my possession, I want to mention that I dug up some old videos of mine of some videos where I shot me and my friends looking at some toys, and I think I'm gonna re-upload those to the YouTube channel as part of From the Toy Bin. So take a look out for those, or look out for those rather. The quality of them is not very good because they're kind of old, and one of them I'm pretty sure I shot on my camera phone. So yeah, it's I'll put up a disclaimer. So anyway. Look out for those. One of them's kind of long and the other one's kind of, you know, just whatever. But I figured they'd fit right in with the series. But anyway, enough about that. Let me talk about these guys right here, because these are the Supernaturals. This is a toy line from the 80s. I believe Tonka made these. I'm going to go out on a limb and say 87 off the top of my head. In fact, well, it might be written on one of these guys. We'll take a look in a second. So, these guys are pretty cool, and I think they're a very underrated toy line from the 80s. And they have this cool, I don't know how well it's going to come up on the camera, but they have these cool hologram gimmick going on, kind of like the Visionaries, but these guys kind of, wow. These guys were kind of weird. Not to say Visionaries wasn't weird, but you know. All right, so let's take a look at these. Let's introduce our cast here. We'll take a closer look at them in a minute. This is Skull. Yes, that is actually his official name, Skull. It's very creative. Then we got this guy here. This is Lionheart. And then at the end here we have Eagle Eye. Now this isn't the whole set. There were 3 others. One was like an Egyptian snake guy, and then there was one that looked like Thor. Marvel's Thor, and then there was another one who was a Black Knight. I don't have those, obviously, but I also have these guys. These are Ghostlings. These are these weird, creepy, hooded characters that went along with the toy line, and they came with these little short swords, but unfortunately I don't have them all, obviously. But yeah, one of the cool gimmicks about these guys was the hologram, because let me take this guy. First, let's just take a look at this guy. This guy is easily my favorite out of the toy line, because look how cool this looks. This guy's totally metal. He's look. I love how kind of detailed the chest piece is there. But yeah, they had this cool hologram gimmick where you can take a look at see how, I don't know how well this is gonna show up, but yeah, he's like a zombie. And he's got like rotted flesh, and then you can see more skeleton underneath him. And you can actually take the chest plates off of each of these guys, and you get a really cool effect. Even just seeing them like this, kind of dark and all that, is really cool. But then you get that neat little like degeneration of the flesh thing going on. It's really cool. So you snap these back on. I'm very impressed how well these figures have held up since it's going on about if this was 87. Let me take a look at this guy, see if he has writing on the bottom of his foot. Tonka. Oh, there's no date on it, but it'll be around 80s. But these guys are like almost 30 years old at least, and they've held up very well. They're not like sticky. The joints are very good. Yeah, they make nice display pieces. What was also cool is the weapons they came with. This guy has like an eyeball mace, which is really cool. The weapons glowed in the dark, and I can kind of still see it. I don't know how to show that on camera, but trust me. Oh, and he dropped his hat. No, let me go get that. It wouldn't be from the toy bin if we weren't dropping things. Okay, there we go. Hi. Alright, so then they also had these shields, and as you can see, there's a hologram in there. There's an eyeball. Now, one thing I would say I would change about these guys is they need an elbow joint, because when they hold up the shield, they're just like this. It's like, so if you want to have them on the shelf, they're constantly having to hold their arm out, which I think looks kind of silly. I mean, you could have, just held it down, held it a little closer to his body, or at least, maybe have a better connection. Maybe have it snap onto the wrist, like the Legend of Zelda figures I had, like that, because I think that looks better. But other than that, I really love this guy. What's cool is I think Skull here is the most common of the figures, so he's pretty easy to get if you can. If you want to have him as a little display piece on your shelf or whatever. Alright, so let's take a look at the next guy. Put him back carefully. This is Lionheart, and he's got a big old broadsword here. Unfortunately, this one I got used, and whoever had him last glued his arm onto his body. So unfortunately, he can't wield his sword, but he can he can go up to Skull here and stab him. You just walk right into him. So this guy, his shield, Lionheart, obviously a lion. Look at that. That's so awesome. And this guy doesn't have a hat that pops off, but he has a little visor here because he's a knight. Let's take off his chest, please. Let's see what he looks like. So there he is. He's like a regular dude, and then he's a lion. Regular dude, lion. Regular dude, lion. So many hours of entertainment. So let's put him back. Let's take a look at Eagle Eye here, and then we'll move on to the Ghostlings. Eagle Eye has a spear. Again, glows in the dark. His hat, his headdress here, kind of comes off pretty easily. It doesn't hold on like the other ones. But again, got a nice, cool transformation thing going on here. There you see, he's a regular dude. Now he's an eagle, because he's Eagle Eye. There you go, and then you hold up the shield, and there's an eagle face in there. Just kind of staring at you. Ah! Alright. I don't know what the hell that was. So there you go, there's Eagle Eye. This one I would say hasn't held up as well, because I'm starting to see the leg joints are a little bit loose, but it's nothing too bad. He still stands up pretty well. Alright, now these are the Ghostlings. I don't really know what the let me fix him. I don't really know what the deal with these guys are. Here's the thing about this toy line. They look cool, but the gimmick was just all over the place. Like, we have a zombie, we have a knight, we have a Native American guy, we have an Egyptian, we have Thor, and then we got these weird hooded guys. And I remember seeing the vehicles that went along with these, and they were just like regular trucks. One was called the Bat Bopper, which I don't know what it is, but I love that name. It just, the Bat Bopper. It just sounds like I don't know. It just gets funnier every time I hear it. Also, they have a playset, and it has my favorite name for any playset ever, and it's called the Tomb of Doom. It's so cool. I don't know how good the playset actually is, but just the name, the Tomb of Doom, is awesome. If I ever start a metal band, that's what it's going to be called. But all right, anyway, the ghost, and here's what I'm trying to illustrate when it comes to the gimmick of this was all over the place, because each of these guys, and I'm pretty sure the little Jawa guy that goes inside the hood here does not. I'm sure these have all been mixed up over the years, and as you can see, I have a couple of doubles. Yeah, the gimmick in here is the same. Okay, so is got like an invisible man thing going on, which is actually a really cool effect. I love that. Just there, and then he just vanishes. which is also kind of weird because you see his hands are in there, but then like, what are these hands for? Like, does he control this guy, or is this what he's supposed to be when he's out of the hood, or like, I don't get it. It's cool looking, just it's not a thinking man's toy, you know what I mean? All right, so let's take a look. That was an Invisible Man. Some of them will pop out of their hoods very easily. So let's see what's going on with this guy. Just some, I don't even know what that is. And then some kind of lizard man turns into a dinosaur, I guess. It's weird. All right, let's take a look at the green one. I'm pretty sure that all these little guys have names, but it doesn't matter because again they're probably all. Oh God! Wow, really? Oh, so he's like got a court jester, and then he turns into Booberry. Something about this feels very like Haunted Mansion, like Disney's Haunted Mansion. I don't know what it is. Look at this! Look at this ghost. He's so goofy looking, and he's just in this hood with this guy holding a sword. Alright, so let's take a look at the dark green one here. This one is a mummy. It's a pharaoh, and then he turns into a mummy. I'm guessing this is like the sidekick of the snake guy that's part of this toy line. Okay, so see, here's a good example. This one is not stuck into the hood well enough, and oh, it's another lizard man. It's pretty cool. And let's take a look at the orange one. Whoa. And the hell is it? Is that like the Mad Hatter and oh sorry, my finger's kind of messed up from work. Is that like the Mad Hatter and the March Hare? This toy line is weird, man. I don't even know what to say about this. It's just some of the most random things ever. All right, who's this? And it's another lizard man. Great. All right, well that's all of them. Again, they're pretty cool figures. Their gimmick is just they needed some kind of direction for their gimmick, and I think they just needed, you know, elbow joints, and I think they would have been like great. But I think they're very underrated figures from the '80s, and I'm actually surprised again how well they've held up. Like I don't know much about holograms or anything, but I would think at some point they might like fade. I don't know. I saw one time how they make these kinds of holograms. They use this laser and it has to project onto a mirror, and it's a whole crazy process. But I don't know if these like wear out or anything. But I'm amazed. Like again, they're almost, if not 30 years old, and they're still pretty cool. So yeah, that's the Supernaturals, a very underrated toy line from the 80s. Kind of wish they had a cartoon because I would have loved to have seen how crazy it would have been. But yeah, leave a comment below and let me know what you think of it. And I'll see you real soon.